Hey everyone, welcome to the first of many special edition podcasts from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame 2026 enshrinement festivities. Once again, we brought the podcast to Mohegan Sun and to Springfield, the home of basketball, to bring you some really great episodes with the enshrinees, the presenters, the returning alumni. I love coming here. I love seeing a lot of friends. I love celebrating so many people who are being honored, not only by the Hall of Fame as an enshrinement class, but also the Gowdy Award winners and the John W. Bunn Lifetime Achievement winner. On this episode, we're bringing you a really great interview with Candace Parker, number 3, one of the greatest WNBA players and college basketball players of all time. It was a thrill to sit down with Candace. I covered all of her LA Sparks career, so it was a really fun time and a really great fun interview. After Candace, we have Cheryl Miller, who actually presented Candace as a returning Hall of Famer into the 2026 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class. So enjoy this episode, folks, with Candace Parker and Cheryl Miller, and I'll see you, as always, on the backside. Well, I have to tell you, Candace Parker, how thrilled I am for you, but for me to be sitting with you on the day before your induction into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, I know everybody's asking you, but how does it feel?
It feels great. I think it's surreal for this moment to be here.
Yeah.
You know, when you get the call, it's like time flies from that point on, and just to be here with my family and friends and all the people that helped get me to this point.
Yeah. Well, you and I go back to your rookie season, which was a phenomenal season. You're the only player to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. There's a lot of firsts with you. I mean, I could read like 20, but we didn't have time for any questions. Let's talk about the other inductees into the Hall of Fame, which is the 1996 women's team, right? How did they inspire you as a player? Because you were a young player growing up. They might have been role models. You know, I've talked to other WNBA players who had other role models, but how did that team specifically inspire you?
I mean, the 96 team is a catalyst for an entire generation of young girls, you know, looking at how they wanted to play, seeing on television people and women that look like me, that were competitive and fiery and unapologetic and all of those things. And I think being able to see that and then it carry forward to be in the WNBA in 97, that was actually the same year my brother got drafted. So I never had to say, like, what am I going to do if I make it to the next level?
Right.
It was right then and there. Like, my parents didn't have to, you know, break the news to me that I didn't have a league to play in. You know, it was literally the same time my brother got drafted, so I had that dream.
Yeah, that's so interesting because, you know, talking to Nancy Lieberman and Ann Myers-Drysdale and Cheryl Miller, all the pioneers who came before you, they didn't have a professional league in America to aspire to. They had to go play overseas. Even though you were in the WNBA, you had to play overseas to actually earn a living. So to see where the game is now, right, after everything you've been through, everything the pioneers went through, and before them, what's the state of the NBA right now, in your opinion?
I think the state of the WNBA is growth, and honestly, a lot of it is having visibility and having a platform, and having, you know, a league that's adequately invested in. And I think we're seeing what that could be and what it is. We're seeing that people want to see women's basketball, and I think it's huge. I mean, you think about 30 years and what since that 96 team till now, and like what they were able to do in that span of time, and then now what this generation is going to do with the, you know, with the correct tools to be able to succeed. So a couple of more quick questions. You have an all-star team of presenters who's going to present you. I want to ask you specifically about Allen Iverson. Because the other ones I can kind of piece it together. But I did the research, but I want to hear from you. Why AI? Why is he up there with you? The reason why I wear number 3 is because of him.
Okay.
So that's number 1. Number 2, he was my brother's teammate, or my brother was his teammate, I should say.
Okay.
And he got drafted to the Nets, traded to the Sixers on draft night. So my brother was his teammate for almost 2 seasons.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that, you know, I was a kid. I was, 12 years old. And it was right when I kind of fell in love with basketball. And he gave me his finger bands. So if you look in high school, I wore number 3 finger bands. And into college, I wore number 3 finger bands.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be AI.
Yeah.
And I think just his impact as one of the smallest guys in the league to be able to dominate in that way. And I always fell in love with like different types of greatness and like doing it not in the conventional way. And he inspired an entire generation. And I wish I could talk about each one of my presenters for 25 minutes in my speech.
Because all of them. We got to get a chat here, I promise.
Yeah.
Last question, Candace. Last time you and I spoke on this podcast was during COVID, 2020, this summer. I was in the NBA bubble.
Never forget that.
You were home, right? And we had just lost Kobe and Gigi a couple months before. And you talked so poignantly about what he meant to you, what he meant to your daughter, what you meant to Gigi, right, in terms of being a role model. You know, we're 6.5 years past, and it's still fresh, right? But what do you feel the legacy of both Kobe and Gigi are right now?
I think they've had a hand in the growth of women's basketball 100%. You know, I can remember Kobe coming to our games with the Sparks, and, you know, I hit this fadeaway, and, you know, you kind of look to the side when you run down the court, and he, like, gave the nod. And you know, you get that nod, you're like, oh, he knows how many hours I was in the gym working on that. And so I think he would be giving women's basketball the nod right now, just in terms of, like, what we've been able to do. I think the skill set now in its purity, like, shooting is such a valuable art in the NBA that now people are realizing, like, women can shoot. And I think that because of that, like, we're seeing the skill set, of women's basketball.
And the work ethic.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the work ethic and all that's always been there. I think just being able to have the platform, the opportunity, the investment has taken it to another level.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thanks so much. Congratulations to you, your family.
You. Thank you.
It's a thrill for me to be there for a lot of your career.
Yeah, a lot.
And
shoot, you were there at the beginning.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah. It was cool. Back in the Coop days.
I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, back in the Coop days, we're running 17s.
Exactly. I say this to a lot of people when they sit down, but with you, Cheryl Miller, this is an absolute thrill and pleasure. Because
this time you mean it?
No, I mean it, because you and I have never sat down on the podcast. Been doing this for 9 years, been chasing you all over America, and here we are in Springfield, where you are going to be presenting Candace Parker tonight into the 2026 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class.
And you know what? I don't want to say that she is more than deserving, because everyone tonight is.
Yes.
But it's super special because I've watched this young lady since she was in high school, certainly in college at Tennessee, and certainly during her years with the WNBA.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, let's just go back, Cheryl. Obviously, you and I, the audience doesn't know, but you and I go back to when you were in high school.
High school days.
One of my first assignments as a young photographer was for Women's Sports Magazine. Go out to Riverside, talk to this young phenom named Cheryl Miller, get some behind the scenes. We had the greatest day.
It was a lot of fun.
We went to the ball with your sister. We shot in your bedroom.
You're the reason why I love photography and photographers.
No.
And you really set the bar high where I knew when they were setting up if they were legit or not.
Oh, Cheryl.
Because of the...
Come on now.
No, seriously.
Really?
Andrew. I think, yes, absolutely. Because of the way you were so painstakingly detail-oriented about your shots, the lighting and everything else. And you flow. You always had a flow about you.
Thank you. Well, I never wanted to make it about me, but I also knew kind of what I wanted to do.
Right.
And you were super accommodating. We shot that photo. It was the lead photo of you on your bed with all of your
all the stuffed
animals, and I think all of your like acceptance letters and recruitment letters and all that stuff.
Yes.
And then you said to me, you said, "Hey, by the way, did you say hi to my brother Reggie, the little 14-year-old kid about this big and shooting hoops in the driveway?"
Right.
So
exactly. He was getting his shot on.
He did pretty good for himself, that guy.
He did.
Yeah.
Well.
And then you go to SC, right? And we did another famous photo shoot, which never saw the light of day, right?
Which to this day was probably the most provocative before its time.
Yes.
But now, so you've got to send me that.
Yeah,
you have to send me that photo.
We have. I've never. It's never been published. It was a photo of you and the McGee twins.
Yes.
in the alley of what was then my studio on Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
With machine guns, but old
and we were in trench
style.
coaches, old style.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like Murderer's
Row.
Row. Not the most well thought out idea, I think, but whatever.
It was before its time.
Yeah,
seriously, it truly was, because back then it was unladylike to be holding any type of firearm.
Yeah, for sure. And now I wouldn't do anything involving guns at all.
No.
So
now it would be.
But anyway, it was fun while it lasted. The three of you are great sports, and it's amazing. Tell me one more thing about Candace. You know, when Cheryl, when you were coming out of SC, you didn't have a professional league in the U.S. to aspire to.
No.
Did you play overseas?
No. I once I tore my knee up after college. Right. That was pretty much it for me.
Yeah. And then
so the idea of playing overseas really. It was an option, but something I didn't want to pursue because I went straight into broadcasting.
Yeah, you went into broadcasting and, of course, into coaching in WNBA, and just had 30th anniversary, and it was fantastic.
Which has been great.
Great. Unbelievable. It's been 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But Candace, being a young basketball player, female, she had a professional league to aspire to. And now the young girls who are watching her play, like my daughters when they were little, watched Lisa, and they didn't get to see you, but they got to see the first iteration of the WNBA.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel the state of women's basketball, WNBA, but also just women's basketball?
I'm just saying women's basketball in general is in a great space.
Good.
So is the Dub. Are we having a little bit of knocks, along the way?
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, who are they talking about? The Dub.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
And look, our women today playing in the WNBA, they control the narratives. They know what time it is, and they know how to speak out on the issues that mean the most to them. So they are simply our best spokeswomen.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And, of course, the 96 Olympic team is going in tonight as well.
Wow, I'm surprised they haven't done that sooner.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
think they were waiting for 30 years.
Yeah,
right?
well, you know what? There's something about the 30.
Yeah,
evidently.
Yeah,
but what a great group.
Oh, what a great group! I spend a lot of time with them on the bus. In fact, Dawn Staley's a great poker player. If you ever play with her,
no,
her and Cheryl
Swoops.
Yeah, I did.
Cheryl Swoops too.
I didn't got involved with Cheryl with poker, but I love being around that team. The coach was great. Everybody was great, and. They were coming off of a disappointing bronze medal in '92.
Right.
And they had a lot to prove. And they had a lot to prove with the ABL and the WNBA coming into existence.
Yes, they had their shoulders were very weighty. Mm-hmm. And there was, I'm sure, a lot of angst and uncertainty. But, first of all, you had arguably the greatest coach at the time, Tara Vanderveer, coaching them.
Yeah.
You knew they were going to be, number one, well coached. They were definitely going to be physically in shape, great shape, phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
And just the stars that they assembled, they were going to come together.
Yeah, great mix of vets and first-time players.
Absolutely.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
So it'll be great to see them all up there tonight, right? It'll be great to see you accompanying Candace as she gets the orange jacket, the whole thing.
Yes,
it's going to be wonderful.
And the rings and everything that goes along with it. It's a fantastic night tonight.
Well, thank you for being such a great friend for so long.
Yes,
We're not going to say how long, but for a long time.
But for a long time, you can put some zeros behind it as long as it's not 3.
Thank you, Cheryl. Oh.
What do you have?
I just got to ask you about this photo. Okay, do you remember that moment of this photo?
I remember climbing up on the rim and sitting there because I was so excited.
Right.
And I believed after that game, the NCAA had a rule that you can no longer
get on the rim.
You can no longer sit on the rim.
I thought you were going up on the ladder to cut the net.
No,
all of a sudden you're sitting up there.
What's the fun in just cutting a net?
That was
everybody
hilarious.
cuts a net.
You're amazing.
Not everybody that we now know cannot sit on the rim.
I can't imagine like Shaq getting up and sitting on the rim, but that would be a whole other scenario.
He brought down the rim for entirely different reasons.
But what a moment of pure elation that you felt like that you were like on top of the world, That was what was going through my head, Andrew. Awesome.
You're the best.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for this episode of the Legends of Sport podcast. We are thankful to all of you who follow this podcast. Please tell all your friends to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legends of Sport. and our Instagram at Legends of Sport, and my photography, of course, on Instagram at ADB Photo Inc. Folks, please check out the discount link in our social media to our good friends at Muggsy. You know how much we love Muggsy's clothes. And the discount link to our friends at You Should. The best way you should take care of your skin for work, play, and everyday life. Thanks again, folks, for tuning into this episode. We'll be back next week with another great episode from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame 2026 enshrinement.